Hello and welcome to Joburg Today. My name is Tumin Hlapo, bringing you the best of what's going down in and around Johannesburg. Save the Children started a 16 days of activism campaign with a bang by sharing a shocking revelation that violence against children cost the economy a staggering 238 billion rand last year. They're focusing their efforts on preventing violence against children and took to Constitutional Hill to host an exhibit for 16 days. We caught up with them on the last day to hear more about their efforts.
Save the Children marked the end of their 16-day of activism campaign titled Violence Unwrapped at Constitutional Hill. They also invited Joburg Today TV as media practitioners to share a few words.
It's an honor and privilege for Joburg Today to be part of this campaign. We commit to covering this extensively, as you've indicated, simply because we believe that we are changing the world, that we are giving back children their rights to dignity, to respect and love, which is crucial for their own growth and development. It is crucial for them to realize their own greatness and potential in this world. So as Gugu indicated, this is really to highlight the plight of children in South Africa, but this is a global challenge, one that we should all commit to. We have to really commit to this, and as media practitioners, we call on other media stakeholders to share the stories of suffering of children across the globe and to highlight the need to end violence against children.
You've been unwrapping the egg and wondering what is inside.
To mark the end of the campaign, the giant egg, which was on display for 16 days, was finally unwrapped. The sculpture revealed was that of a child, symbolizing hope for a child that suffered abuse. Gugu spoke to us of the importance of this campaign and the leverage they've gained out of it.
You know, the first thing that we gained, from my perspective, is the voice. I think one of the things that we struggled with as a young organization was that opportunity to tell the story of the child from the perspective of the child. So for me, the support that we received and the media coverage that we've received put our organization out there, and people saw how authentic the organization is and the work that we're doing. The second thing is the partnerships that have come through. Even today, we have one prosecutor who found out about the event and decided to come today. And the only reason she came is because she says she works with victims and she wants to support the organization in however way that she can in making sure that we reach, that end of the justice system. And just seeing the passion of South Africans about children. Sometimes, when you look at the numbers, you're thinking, it's not so many people, but we've got South Africa talking. And we want to keep South Africa talking and doing something about children.
Abuse of children in South Africa is an everyday reality, one that cannot be underscored as a once-off campaign.
I think sometimes we underestimate how big the challenge is. But if you think about it, we've been here for about 30 to 40 minutes. I guarantee you in that time, a child has been raped, a child has been abused, a child somewhere has died, and a child has been shouted at. So at every point in our life, there's a child somewhere who is not done right by. We just found the body of the young girl from Alex, who passed away. And so the issue of children are not just about violence, they're just about care, they're about safety, they're about poverty. Because I'm sure if those families had proper housing, proper infrastructure, that child wouldn't have drowned. And so it brings it home. Because sometimes we think it's not connected, but all of the things are connected. Whether it's poverty, whether it's violence, lack of education. I mean, we just found out yesterday, that the pass mark for maths is going to be 20%. It seems like a trivial thing, but we're dumping down our society, And so, for me, I need South Africans to understand that every minute matters in the child's life. And we have a responsibility to be alert and awake and to notice, because we are the only ones who can bring them to the surface.
Nashina Mohammed for Joburg Today.
Like us on Facebook, joburgtoday.tv, and follow us on Twitter at joburgtoday. The world's largest government-funded AIDS treatment program has made an impact on the HIV and AIDS endemic in South Africa. With a possible vaccine added to the mix, HIV-positive people's reality may look quite different, but there is still a long road ahead.
I was born HIV positive and I got HIV through mother-to-child transmission. So growing up wasn't very easy for me because I suffered a lot of stigma. Back then people were not well informed about HIV and AIDS, so sometimes people wouldn't even sit next to you. But now, as I've grown up, I saw that HIV is not really a train smash. There is life after HIV. It's not the end of the world, and if you take your treatment well, you actually can still fulfill your dreams. I started taking medication at the age of 5 years. But back then at 5 years, I didn't even know what medication it was for. I only realized when I was in high school. So we die mostly of natural causes, but we can sustain the virus by taking our medication. So I feel like a normal person, and I still live up to my dreams, and I'm all normal like everyone.
Nkosi's Haven provides a home for destitute HIV-positive mothers and their children, offering holistic care and support since 1999. Here, the impact of easily available treatment has been clear.
You know, HIV/AIDS is now normalized, and we're asking people to normalize it. And although it still carries its own stigma and make no end, but it is still around. But our funeral budget is zero. It used to be high. But the need for emotional interventions is very definitely there. And so if I could employ 3 or 4 full-time play therapists, and then of course education.
Since 1998, the Treatment Action Campaign has been central in securing an universal government-provided AIDS treatment program in South Africa. Although grateful for good efforts, there are still issues.
We are still the only country that is leading on HIV infection. In South Africa, weekly, there are more than 5,336 new HIV infections. Out of that 5,000 weekly, 2,000 only is infection amongst young girls. But on top of that, those people who are on antiretroviral treatment in the country, we are told that there are about 3.5 million. Yet people who are living with HIV in the country are estimated to 7 million, meaning that half of them are not on treatment. In Gauteng, it is said that there is an estimated number of 788,000 people who are on antiretroviral treatment. And out of that 788,000 of people on treatment, about 71,000 of them are lost on follow-ups. One of the leading reasons that people default on treatment, it is the healthcare systems are falling apart. The quality of medication that we're accessing in public healthcare systems is up to par. But what is lacking, it is a political will and a political commitment.
Speaking generally for all young people, we get scared of going to the clinics. In these days, when you're HIV positive and a young person, they don't actually ask how you got to contract HIV and AIDS, but the answer would always be, she's positive, she's got a blesser. So we get judged a lot that we get HIV through sleeping around, and it's not always the case. So then, as young people, it's a challenge, even though the pills, the medication is there, but it's a challenge for us because we feel like we're going to lack that love and the sense of belonging issue.
The TAC believes the South African government should considerably up its spending on HIV/AIDS research and development. But 20-somethings like Nora can already imagine a changed life if HIV vaccines, for instance, would become available.
In future, if HIV negative people could get vaccines for HIV, it would then help to lower the stigma around HIV positive people, because then they would feel that they are safe. Your partner won't have to be worried about contracting HIV or the issue of having babies in future.
Results of the current preventative HIV vaccine trials are expected late 2020. Only if results are positive, the work to develop a general available vaccine can start. Marise de Klerk, Joburg Today.
I'm Zakia Patel, and you're lucky enough to be watching Joburg Today.
That's all for today. For more on the city, do check out our playlist. From myself, Dumin Hlapo, and the Joburg Today crew, it's goodbye.